and welcome back to another episode of MEW or Matt's Extreme Wrestling, where today I have for you your full WrestleMania Night 2 results. Sorry that I'm getting to this late. I had a few things come up in between of filming the predictions and Night 2 results, so I hope you guys did stick around because these were a lot of fun to make, to predict, and basically do videos on a pay-per-view. This, WrestleMania is my very first one, and I'm going to try and do these for every pay-per-view. So, without further ado, let's get to the very first match on the card. Alright, now you guys may be wondering why the United States Champion and the Intercontinental Champion are in front of the screen. They weren't even on the freaking card. This is just something that I wanted to get out here and talk about before we talked about the show. I figured either I'll plug it in at the beginning or end. I'm pretty sure this will be plugged in at the beginning of the video, but we have Finn Balor, our US Champion, and Ricochet, our Intercontinental Champion, in a 6-hour-long program. 6 hours long. 3 to 4 hours of it is WrestleMania, and 2 to 3 hours of it is the kickoff show. Why do we need a 3-hour kickoff show when you couldn't even plug these two in to WrestleMania? I've seen a lot of people complain about this, and I want to voice my opinion about this too. Why can you not plug in the US Champion and the Intercontinental Champion? I mean, seriously, you could have had Damian Priest here challenge for the United States title. I know he just got out of a feud with Finn Balor, but you could have put them on a WrestleMania match, and that would make most sense. You could have put Ricochet with anybody. I know he's been feuding with Los Lotharios or whatever they're called. I don't really know the name all that well. But seriously, you could have plugged these two in anywhere in the show, and it would have been nice. I mean, it just sucks that Finn and Ricochet were not seen on WrestleMania, but now let's get back to the results of WrestleMania Night 2, starting with the first match on the card. Alright guys, and the first match on the card was the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro, defending against the Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. Honestly, what is there to say about this match? This match delivered in every category, I think, in my opinion. I mean, we had power move after power move, we had some high flying from Montez Ford as always, and we had Matt Riddle and RKO utilize two super RKOs off the top turnbuckle, and what a match. This was definitely a better... I mean, I'm not saying Night 1's kickoff was bad, I just wish Rick Boogs wouldn't have gotten hurt in that match. But this was a good way to kick off WrestleMania for the very first match. RK Bro are still the Raw Tag Team Champions, and I'm interested to see where we go here, because, these are two top-level teams that RK Bro have defeated here, and where do we go from here? Are they going to feud with other tag teams on Raw? Maybe some SmackDown teams will come over and feud with them. We'll never know, but RK Bro are still your Raw Tag Team Champions. Next up on the matches, we had Bobby Lashley versus Omos, and basically what I thought it was going to be, two titans just battling out in the middle of the ring. I mean, the match was pretty straightforward. This was one of those matches that I did not feel was a WrestleMania-worthy match. But Bobby Lashley did pick up the victory over Omos, and I wonder if this feud is going to go anywhere. Like, are we going to get, like, a feud going into the future with Bobby Lashley and Omos? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but Bobby Lashley did, in fact, pick up the victory over Omos. Next up, we had Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville in an Anything Goes match. This is what I call an Anything Goes match. I mean, this match was incredible. You had fire extinguishers, you had the giant hand from the movie, you had a table that was full of mouse traps. I mean, this match was absolutely incredible. You had the crew from the movie that Johnny Knoxville was in, and the franchise that he was in. All in all, Johnny Knoxville picks up the victory over Sami Zayn, and the end of the match was interesting. You had a giant mousetrap. Sami Zayn gets stuck in the mousetrap, and Johnny Knoxville pins AJ Styles for the victory. Not AJ Styles. Sami Zayn for the victory, so Johnny Knoxville defeats Sami Zayn. And for the next match on the card, you had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. Carmella and Queen Zelina defending them against Liv and Rhea, Sasha Banks and Naomi, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler in a match that I was actually really excited for. I know a lot of people are not the biggest fans of the women's tag team titles. I actually enjoy the women's tag team championships. The only problem is I do agree they just throw these makeshift teams together to hopefully win the championships, and I guess that's okay, but I don't know. I think it only works to an extent, but this match was not very long. I don't think it was longer than 10 minutes. I think it was 10 to 15 minutes long. It was just very quick, in my opinion. I mean, I think everybody got their spots in where they needed to get their spots and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we have brand new women's tag team champions. Everyone was predicting this. It would be one of these two teams, but Naomi and Sasha Banks come out on top and win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And I'm excited to see their first title defense. I think these two work well together, so I'm excited to see the next match. Next up, we have Edge versus AJ Styles, another match that I was really looking forward to. And what was interesting is that AJ cut his face before getting into the ring. He actually cut his face on part of the stage, apparently. If you saw right up here by over by the top of his head or down by his cheek and his eye, he cut himself on part of the Wrestlemania stage. So that was interesting to see that. But yeah, this was a very physical, very hard-hitting match, in my opinion. And the ending of it was interesting. It was interesting. So at the end, all of a sudden, Damian Priest comes in, causes an interference. AJ Styles still goes for the phenomenal forearm. Edge spears AJ Styles in midair. 1, 2, 3. Edge defeats AJ Styles at WrestleMania with help from Damian Priest. And on Monday Night Raw, we did see the formation of a staple that apparently a lot of people heard of. I never heard of it. But apparently Edge and Damian Priest are now a tag team. So, that's interesting. But yeah, Edge defeats AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Next up was the canceled tag team match from Night 1. The New Day taking on Sheamus and Ridge Holland. If you guys did not know, this match was cut from Night 1 due to time restraints. So they plugged it in on Night 2's show, which was actually really nice that they still did it. But it was like 5 minutes long. It was anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes long, and Sheamus and Ridge Holland pick up the victory. You know, this was a match that I was looking forward to, and the New Day lost. So, that's interesting. But yeah, Sheamus and Ridge Holland defeat the New Day at WrestleMania. Next up was one of the 3 matches that I was really looking forward to. Well, one of the 4 matches. And it was Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee, and oh man, this match did not disappoint. Pat McAfee shows that he can do it in the ring. I mean, he's had a couple in-ring matches, I think. Most of them were on NXT. But at the end of the day, Pat McAfee defeats Austin Theory, and that wasn't the end of it. Oh, no, it wasn't. So, we had an impromptu match. So, Mr. McMahon was sitting at ringside the whole time. He goes to the side of the ring, takes off his tie, takes off his jacket, takes off his shirt. Him and Pat McAfee have like a 1 to 2 minute match. 1, 2, 3. Mr. McMahon defeats Pat McAfee, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin makes his way down to the ring. He stuns Austin Theory, and then we think he tries to let bygones be bygones with Mr. McMahon. Nope. He gives Mr. McMahon an absolutely horrible stunner. I mean, if it's kind of interesting, the guy can't take a stunner in his 40s, and he's almost 80, and I guess things never change. So yeah, Stone Cold stuns Austin Theory, stuns Mr. McMahon, and Pat McAfee comes in the ring, and Stone Cold and Pat McAfee, and they're sharing a couple beers and everything like that. And then Stone Cold stuns Pat McAfee, so Stone Cold can have the very last laugh at WrestleMania. And this was a good moment. This was really good. I enjoyed this. But yeah, Pat McAfee defeats Austin Theory at WrestleMania, and then Mr. McMahon defeats Pat McAfee at WrestleMania. Woo, that was a mouthful. Next up was the main event, Championship Unification, Championship for Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar defending the WWE Championship and Roman Reigns defending the Universal Champion for the right to be called the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. This was a good match. I honestly thought this was a good match. I mean, it had every classic Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar station. Roman Reigns speared Brock Lesnar through the barricade. Now, what was interesting is Roman Reigns' shoulder apparently got popped out of its socket, and during the match, he uses the rope to pop it back in, and you could see it on Raw that the shoulder was still affecting him, but at the end of the day, there was a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Wow. Can anyone stop Roman Reigns? But, yeah, what a fantastic main event. I mean, honestly, what an absolutely fantastic main event. Alright, that is going to do it for my results of WrestleMania Night 2. Honestly, I would rate WrestleMania 38. I would say 4.5 out of 5. If we were going to rate this a 5-star show, it would be 4.5. Very good, but also with a little bit of not good. If you guys did enjoy the review today, a like and a comment on the video is always acceptable. Subscribing to the channel, you can finally now turn on the bell. Apparently that was a feature that was locked for me, but I've had some people tell me that the bell is now available, so tap the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and we will be back to regular reviews this Sunday. This Sunday, we will be back with reviews, and the very first review that we will be doing is AEW Unrivaled Series number 8, Orange Cassidy. So I hope you guys do check out that review, and yeah, I will see you all in the very next review. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and peace!